going on, guys? Just washing the bike. I got about 1,100 miles on it. I think this is like the second or third time washing it. I like to try to wash it at least every like 500 to 1,000 miles, just to keep the really to keep the gunk off the wheels and the calipers and stuff, just to keep that clean. And also the front, you know, with all the bugs and stuff, because the bugs, they carry like a lot of acid in them, and if you leave like bug splatter all over your bike for too long, it kind of just bakes into the paint. So that's why I just like to stay on top of it. Anyway, that's not today's topic, but thanks for tuning in and watching. But I just wanted to talk about, I guess, while I finish washing the bike, I just wanted to talk about, I guess, the reliability on these BMW S1000 RRs and M1000 RRs. So I had one of these in the past. I think it was a 2020. I've been riding for over 30 years, and this is my second one. I had one in 2020, and now this is the second one that I have. So from my experience, I will tell you that I have never had a problem, and I don't baby the bike. I don't baby any of my bikes. I ride all winter long. If you guys check out my other channel, my Harley content, I ride all winter long. I just put on my heated gear. Same thing I'll do to this one. Basically, I just put in a heated gear harness onto the battery, and I plug in my heated jacket liner, and I got heated grips on this bike, and I'll be riding all winter long. I do not put my bikes away. I don't stop riding. I ride all winter long. So as far as, you know, how I ride pretty hard. I like to have fun, just like everybody else. And I do not baby my bikes. I've never had a problem, really never had a problem with any of my bikes, because I don't know, I guess I do take care of the bike, but I never had a bad situation where an engine blew up because, let me say this, I did have an engine blow up on a touring motorcycle, but that was because the engine was really worked. I didn't have the proper cooling on it, and I got stuck in traffic and it overheated. But other than that, let's go back to sport bikes, primarily, let's say, Japanese and German sport bikes, right? I've never had a problem with any of the bikes. They're typically bulletproof, and I'm sure you guys know that. Never had a problem with any of them. But let's go back just to BMW. I never had a problem with my previous one, the 2020. And so far, this one, I've never had a problem with this. So I forgot how many miles I put on the last one that I had, several thousand. I haven't had it, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't had an S1000 RR for like a super long period of time. You know, say several years, or put 20, 30,000 miles on it. But I feel safe to talk about it, because a lot of the problems that people are having lately that you see online, they're happening brand new. The motors aren't even broken in. It's not happening 20, 30,000 miles, 10,000 miles. The problems that you see, if you guys are pulling up a video online, the problems that you guys see are from brand new motorcycles. And typically the ones we're talking about right now that are happening is the M bikes. So that motor's a little bit different in regards to, I believe that motor has a single piston ring, I want to say, or is it a double, and this one has a triple ring. They're built differently. It's a race motor, you know. Some internals are different. But I really haven't had or seen problems online with the standard, like this one, the S1000 RRs. The problems I've seen were with the M versions. There were several, let me just rinse this off. There were several channels, several people online that they had either the M1000R, single R, or the M1000 RR, and the motors blew, and it was catastrophic failure, meaning that the rod punched a hole through the bottom or side of the block. And basically that's a catastrophic failure and you need a new motor. And the new motor, I believe on an M, I don't know, I think it's like $18,000, something crazy like that. So I haven't seen any blown motors or any big problems on these standard, like this is a M package bike with the premium package as well. I haven't seen any issues online, but the M bikes, they're the ones that are, it's looking like they're having a problem. So I really can't talk too much about that because I don't have an M bike. But what I will tell you, in all certainty and honesty, that I think everybody's trying to scare people away from these bikes. BMW doesn't sponsor me, so I'm just talking like it is. I haven't heard of anybody that I've known. I know a lot of people that have these bikes, and they're really good. I do know that there was a water pump failure issue on these bikes, but I don't know, I don't know as far as the data, I don't know how many bikes does that actually happen to. Is it just a select few? Is it thousands? If it's thousands, I think they probably would have did a recall on it, right? So I haven't heard of anybody that I know having issues on a regular standard S1000RR model. And like I said before, I know so many people, hundreds of people that have these. And I also, when we go out on meet and greets and bikes and breakfasts and bike nights and stuff, I talk to all these people that have these bikes. They they don't have any issues. But what I do know, and I will talk about, I don't want to mention names or anything like that because I don't know for certainty. Like, who really knows in 100% certainty what created or why that problem happened, right? But I will tell you this: how you doing? The people that it actually happened to, or the bikes that actually failed, they weren't just stock bikes. They were tuned. They were tuned before the motorcycle even broken in. Possibly the rev limit was changed. The tune was changed, obviously, before it was broken in. And the rev limits exceeded before the break-in period. So what does that tell you? Like, I could almost guarantee that. And I think I will tell you now is if you do have a problem with these bikes, if you have a catastrophic engine failure, BMW is going to look inside the ECU and open it up. And what I mean by open it up, they're not actually physically going to tear it apart. They're going to plug it into the computer and they're going to see what rev limit did this motorcycle hit. Oh, it hit 17,000 RPM. Oh, it's been banging off the rev limiter a couple hundred times. So what do you think, especially if the rev limit, if the maximum rev limit was changed, or it was rev bombed several hundred times, or quite a few times, what do you think BMW or any manufacturer for that matter, what do you think they're going to do? Do you think they're going to warranty the product if you didn't adhere to the break-in process? Like, what do you honestly think they're going to do? Well, I would tell you what I would do if I owned BMW. I wouldn't warranty it either, because you didn't listen to what the manufacturer guidelines were, or what they told you to do. You just kind of did what you wanted to do. And then what happens is, obviously, if rev limits were exceeded, if it was rev bombed, if the tune was different, and you didn't follow the proper break-in procedure for the motorcycle, what do you think they're going to do? Of course, they're not going to warranty it. And again, I'm saying this with not 100% certainty. I'm just, as far as what actually happened to those bikes, but in certainty, I could tell you, like I just said, you know, if that's what you're going to do, if that's what you are going to do to your bike, and if you do have a catastrophic failure, be prepared. Be prepared. If you have a tune on it, if you revved the living shit out of it, if you over revved it a lot of times, then you're gonna have a huge problem. They're probably not going to warranty your engine, and rightfully so, because obviously you didn't follow manufacturer's specifications on breaking that motorcycle in. So, you know, that's why, to tell you the truth, I had a option, but I didn't go for it before this bike hit the, whatever it was, 600 miles, to get the ECU unlocked. You could unlock the ECU way before that, but I chose not to. I don't care about waiting. You have to just be patient. 600 miles you could literally do in 2 days. If you are a rider, go take a nice ride through the countryside and put on 600 miles, and you'll be done with it. And then you could go to the dealer, get that first service done, and get the ECU unlocked. But a lot of people, they don't ride a lot. They just want to, you know what, F off with the bike. And then they get the ECU unlocked, and where it's not supposed to, right? It's not supposed to be unlocked, meaning when the ECU is locked from the factory upon break-in, you can't pass, I believe it's 8,000 RPM. So they don't allow you to go past 8,000 RPM, I believe, for a reason, so you don't damage the motor. That is part of the break-in process, right? So once you hit that 600-mile mark, you take it back to the dealer. They service the bike for you the first time, and basically they unlock the ECU. So now it tops out, as far as rev limit, almost 15,000 RPM. But until then, you cannot go past 8,000 RPM. And, you know, I understand a lot of people don't like that, but it is what it is. So I think that's what was happening. That's just my personal opinion. If I knew these bikes for which it happened to, if I knew these bikes weren't touched, meaning if I knew they did not have a tune on it, if I knew that the ECU wasn't unlocked, but I know that they were, because there's videos on it, right? I don't want to say they incriminated themselves, but you know, you could see in the videos what they did to the bike. You could see that they put the tune on. You could see them rev bombing the crap out of the bike, or tracking the bike, and tracking a brand new motor that's not even broken in yet. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of, in other words, you're beating the shit out of it, right? So they're gonna see that. So once your motor blows, like I said, they're gonna put it on the computer, and they're gonna do all their checks. I mean, there's, you know, people say, oh, once you disconnect or take off a tune, they don't know it's there. They know it's there. They know it's there. They know something has been removed and something was installed. You know, they're not stupid. Maybe years ago, they didn't know, but today, in today's day and age and computers, they know everything that happens to that bike. Every single thing, every over rev, every time you hit 200 miles an hour, or every time you hit 17,000 RPM, how long was the RPMs held at, say, a high RPM, you know? So all of that is going to show. They're gonna know everything, and that's what they base, you know, that's what they're gonna base their warranty claim on. They're gonna first go through the data, and if it was, say, let's just say it was me, and I never tuned it, I did what I was supposed to do, and I never over revved the bike. I didn't mess with the ECU. I didn't put any tune on it. And I didn't beat the crap out of the bike. I did everything what I was supposed to do. And the motor failed. Of course they're going to warranty it. Why wouldn't they? Because I know a lot of other people, online and not online, that motors, they had motor issues, and they got a full warranty. So it's, you can't say that, oh, they're not going to warranty it. There's a reason why they didn't warranty it. Just because you're a good customer, meaning, oh, you purchased 4 or 5 bikes from them, that doesn't mean anything. They're in it for the business, right? They're a business first and foremost. And if they find something that, they're not your buddy, if they find something that they could void the warranty on, they're going to do that without even hesitating, because they are a business first and foremost. They're not your pal. So 2 questions, I guess, if you're going to ask me. Do I think the bike is reliable? Yeah, I think it's reliable. I don't think, are Japanese bikes probably more reliable? Yeah, I'll agree to that. But is the BMW S1000 RR reliable? I would say yes. I think it's reliable. I think it's just how you take care of it, what you do to it, and, make sure you're on top of maintenance and stuff like that. I had a choice when I got the BT Moto Tune. I had a choice to raise the rev limit because they can. I'm not sure to what extent, as far as what number, how high, but I said no. I said I don't want the rev limit raised, because why do I need it? With the BT Moto Tune, it's got 200 horsepower at the rear wheel. Do I really need any more? I'm 208 pounds. I've said this in a previous video. I don't drag race, I don't roll race. So if some guy on the same bike comes up at me, doing 50 miles an hour on a highway, and he weighs 130 pounds, he'll destroy me. It doesn't matter. Same bike, same thing. Because power to weight ratio, right? So I'm just not, that's why I'm not into that. You see the guys that roll race, I mean, their bikes literally weigh like low 300 pounds. They've stripped it down. I don't want a stripped down bike, because I don't want to do that stuff. I'm not into that stuff. Not that I don't like watching it. I love to watch the guys on Instagram and stuff doing that stuff. I think it's cool and impressive, but I'm just not into that personally. I like the twisties. The bike was meant to be ridden on the track, right? That's what the bike was designed for. It wasn't really designed to drag race. People are turning them into drag racing bikes, but they're designed for the track, for the racetrack, to take twisties, to go fast. Wasn't designed to drag race, wasn't designed to roll race, and I just think that's where the problems lie. When something fails, and like I said, you take off the ECU lock before you're supposed to, if you tune the bike before the break-in period, if you rev bomb it, if you stay at 15, 16,000 RPM rev bombing the motor for a long period of time, like I know a lot of people do, of course your motor's gonna go one day, because that's so much strain on the motor. So I would tell you, take care of your investment. Yeah, it's not an investment, it's a toy, but I look at it somewhat as an investment, because you put money into it, at least you want it to hold its value as best as possible, right? You don't want to beat the shit. Like, why pay $24,000, $25,000 for a bike like this and literally beat the living shit out of it? For what? Like, what sense does that make? Like, take care of yourself, take care of your stuff, have some pride in your stuff, take care of it, wash it, do the maintenance on it. And like I said, my opinion, I think 200 horsepower is crazy. You don't even need a BT Moto Tune. This bike is absolutely insane. You could throw an exhaust on here as far as a Akrapovic header, and you don't even need a tune, because it's got 402 sensors, and the computer figures out the air-fuel ratio perfectly. On my last one, I didn't have a BT Moto Tune, and the bike ran beautifully. So, yeah, that's kind of how I feel That's kind of how I feel about the BMW S1000RR. I think it's a fantastic bike. I think for me, it's probably the best sport bike I could have purchased. Not only because I'm 6'2" tall, I think it just has all the amenities. It's a premium built machine, and I love it. I love how it looks, and it's got everything, all the little bells and whistles that I want as far as hill assist hold. It's got the cruise control. It's got heated grips. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, and it's a gorgeous looking bike. So, you know, is it reliable? I would say yes. Is there problems? Yes, but there's a lot of other brands that have problems as well. You can't say that not one manufacturer, not one motorcycle doesn't have any issues. Do I think it's something huge, like to where, you know, be afraid of it, don't purchase a S1000RR? Absolutely not, man. Absolutely not. If you want one of these bad boys, you go out and get yourself one. I would just, again, if you're gonna buy a used one, I would kind of be a little scared, because not knowing, you know, how that person used the bike, how that person used the tool. I'm gonna call it a tool. So, you know, did they beat the crap out of it, or did they take care of it? So that's another important thing, right? But other than that, I think the bike's great. I don't think you guys should be worried about it. Just very important, pay attention to the manufacturer's specifications on the break-in. I wouldn't, if you're gonna do a BT Moto, me personally, I wouldn't raise the rev limit. I would probably just stay stage 1. And don't do anything else to the bike. You don't really need to. It's got 200 horsepower at the rear wheel. That's insane. So I hope this video helped. If you guys are, I don't know, thinking about buying it. Like I said, I'm not sponsored by BMW. I really don't care, but I love the bike, and I don't want to see people, because I see people, I think they're getting really scared, and I hear a lot of chitter and chatter online, and people talking about, you know, saying they're you know, not reliable, and that's just false. You can't say that just because of a couple instances online or wherever. I don't think that would be a cause for you not to get one of these beautiful machines and enjoy it. All right, so that's it. I gotta go back inside to edit. If you have any questions or comments, throw them down below in the comment section. And if you're not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. And we're going out to do a ride video tomorrow. Something pretty cool, because my buddy Steve actually just bought a brand new bike, and my boy Nadal just bought a brand new bike. We're all gonna get together right up into New York State, meet up with them, and we'll show you guys the bikes. Peace out.